you feel like you're losing leads, you're probably right, and I'm about to show you one of the easiest ways to fix it. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how you can build a full AI voice agent for real estate in 15 minutes so you don't have to keep losing leads. But let me tell you a little secret. While everyone's busy adding chatbots to their websites, and don't get me wrong, they do work, using a real estate voice agent on your site instead can actually convert leads even better, especially if you want to be known for top-level one-on-one service. And here's the crazy part. Instead of just letting a lead browse around or fill out a form, this agent is having actual conversations, finding out exactly what people want, and getting them booked in before they even leave your site. And if you're new here, I'm Mike. I've spent the last 2 years in AI, and now I help businesses and real estate pros use AI agents to scale and earn their time back. In the next 15 minutes, I'll show you exactly how I built this AI real estate voice agent so you can use it yourself to start booking more leads this month. So let's get straight into it. All right, so there's been a lot of steam behind the whole add a chatbot to your website to generate leads movement in the past couple of years. And while chatbots definitely are a good move to add to your website if you need more leads, what I wanted to show you today is actually something that I've been working on to upgrade that entire experience and really show people something that they're not expecting. So I'm going to jump into a full demo of this in a moment just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But essentially here we have our fancy real estate website here. And what I've done here is instead of having a chatbot on this website, I actually embedded a voice agent on here that people can just jump onto and talk to anytime they want. Now I also have this connected to a simple automation here to actually analyze the call success, save leads to my CRM, and actually notify me via Slack message anytime I get a good lead. So first, let's jump straight into a demo here, and then afterwards I'll show you step by step how I actually built this agent so you can follow along with me and start using this for yourself. So now if I'm a lead on this website, all I have to do is open this window right here and we'll immediately get to start talking to this agent.
Hi there, I'm Haley. I work with Apex, and I'm here on Mike's behalf to offer any help I can. So, what's your name?
Hi there, Haley. My name is John.
Hi, John. It's great to meet you. How can I assist you today? Are you looking to buy, sell, or explore properties in Paris?
Yeah, actually, I was looking to potentially move to Paris pretty soon with my fiance, and we were thinking about buying an apartment over there. So we're actually coming from New York, by the way.
That sounds exciting, John. Paris is such a beautiful place to start a new chapter. Do you have any specific neighborhoods in mind, or are you open to exploring options? And are there any must-haves for the apartment, like a certain number of bedrooms or features?
Yeah, those are good questions. I'm actually looking for an apartment with about 3 bedrooms, and in terms of neighborhoods, I'm not too specific, but anything close to the Eiffel Tower would be fantastic.
Got it. 3 bedrooms and a location near the Eiffel Tower. That area is stunning and offers some incredible views. Do you have a general budget in mind for the purchase? And what's your timeline for moving?
Yeah, I was looking to spend around 1.2 million euros, and if we could move within the next 3 months, that would be ideal.
Thanks for sharing that, John. A budget of 1.2 million euros and a 3-month timeline gives us a great starting point. Based on what you've shared, I think one of our agents could help you find some fantastic options. Would you like me to check availability for a meeting with one of them to discuss properties that match your criteria?
Sure thing. Yeah, that sounds good. If you're curious about getting ahead with AI but don't know where to start, I'm putting together a private community just for you. Inside, you'll find exclusive courses, Q&As with me, a library of AI agents you can use today, and a growing collection of other resources that give you everything you need to start scaling your business and start saving 5 or more hours every single week with AI within about 90 days. If that sounds interesting, go ahead and hit my first link down below to get access completely for free. Or if you're a business owner or real estate pro and you're curious about adopting AI and ironing out your AI strategy without the headache, then hit link number 2 to book a one-on-one call with me and my team. Anyways, let's get straight back into the video.
Here are some available times for a meeting. On Thursday, September 25th at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., or 12 p.m. On Friday, September 26th at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., or 12 p.m. Do any of these work for you?
Sure. Could we do this Friday at 12 p.m.?
Perfect. To book your appointment, I'll need your email address so we can send you confirmation details. Could you please provide your email?
Sure thing. My name is, my email is john23@gmail.com.
You're all set, John. Your meeting is confirmed for this Friday, September 26th at 12 p.m. We'll send the confirmation details to your email, john23@gmail.com. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
That'll be it, Haley. I look forward to meeting you guys this Friday.
Thank you, John. We look forward to meeting you this Friday. Have a great day.
Alright, so obviously this agent has a massive opportunity to really act as a lead gen machine for your website and really give people a next level of service when it comes to actually booking, answering questions, and really driving business for your site. Before we actually get into our voice agent and our N8N flow, if you're going to follow along with this tutorial, it's actually worth mentioning that you should have some sort of a sample website to play around with. Now, I just decided to build mine here in Firebase, and you can do the same as well if you want to just follow along with this tutorial. Otherwise, if you have an actual website that you want to plug this into, then essentially the same process will apply here. But once you actually figure out how you want to process and follow along with me here website-wise, we could actually jump into the back end and get deeper into our Vapi sections so we can actually unpack how this voice agent works. So since this is a 15-minute tutorial, I want to keep things as tight as possible here. So first up, I'm going to jump into our prompt here in Vapi to really give you guys a foundation here. And then once we establish everything in Vapi, we'll move into N8N, and I'll actually show you how this automation here works, how we're processing our call information, saving it to our CRM, and actually notifying ourselves once we get any hot leads booked in. Now, this is actually a pretty sizable prompt here, and I'm not going to get super deep into it because if you guys want to copy this exact prompt, you could head down to the first link in my description, join my free school community, and you'll have full access to this as well as the entire N8N workflow. So in terms of our prompt setup, I'm following a pretty industry standard setup with just a few alterations here to make our voice agent work even better for this use case. So first up, for our role, I'm just instructing the agent who it is, who it's working for, and what its ultimate goals are when it's engaging with leads. But again, we can keep this relatively simple at this point. Next up, we actually have our operating instructions, and what we're looking at here is actually an overview of the entire conversation process. Initially, we're always going to start off with the greeting, as you've seen before, and if you look right up here to my first message, I've actually predefined that greeting for us. Next up, under our lead qualification, is going to take care of a bulk of our conversation here. I'm essentially asking the agent to adaptively ask questions in a more natural conversational format so that it can gather information from the lead, like their name, their email, phone number, and some of their property interests, as well as getting some info on their budget and their time frame. All of this will help us to qualify these leads and process their information post-call to actually determine our success and make sure everything is all set before we actually reach out to these leads and follow up with them afterwards. Now, in terms of booking meetings, this is going to be a very important part to include in your prompt as well. And in this case, I've simply instructed the agent to use both our check availability tool and our calendar tool to actually assist it in managing our calendar. I'm asking the agent to, number one, check for the availability on our calendar using our availability tool. Number two, we actually want to confirm the meeting details once the lead and the agent have agreed on an available time. Now, for our tone and style, I tend to actually balance between friendly and professional. So you can really go in here if you want to and actually adjust these for your specific use case. But for this simple AI real estate voice agent, these 3 bullet points work very well when it comes to... Now, after we've handled our tone and style, I actually have 2 categories here that revolve around error handling. So this first one here for handling unclear responses essentially handles whenever the agent receives a piece of information that's unclear. All I'm doing is instructing the agent on how to respond and how to handle that. Second up, for error handling, again, this is a very simplified version of what we could do here. But essentially, if the agent runs into any errors in booking, or if the user asks something that's outside the agent's capabilities, we can integrate human handoff and ensure the agent stays positive and helpful no matter what the outcome of the call is. Now, in terms of our tools, this actually connects into our booking setup that I just took you guys through. So this is to reiterate what both of these tools are and when the agent should use them. Our final 2 categories here are actually our workflow structure and sample conversation, and both of these kind of plug into one another to illustrate to the agent what this entire conversation looks like in action. So we're trying to go through each step here to show the agent what it's going to be doing, what it can expect to see, how it's supposed to follow these steps, and finally we're putting it all together in a sample conversation that's meant to mimic what an actual conversation between this agent and a lead would look like in real life. So again, you can go through here and really alter this to mirror whatever your use case is, but this sample conversation is really important in putting together the entire prompt and really illustrating to the agent what it's going to be going through. Now, hopefully that helps you understand the prompt a little bit better here. And with that said, we can actually jump into some of our settings here. And since Vapi does offer quite a few settings here, we're just going to focus on the ones that matter most for getting this particular use case to work. Number 1 is going to be our tools. In order to actually book meetings, we need to assign 2 tools to our AI agent. The first is going to be a Google Calendar event tool, and the second is a check availability tool. Now, the way that you're going to do this is you're going to simply come over to your left-hand sidebar, hit the wrench where it says tools, and then you probably won't have this Google Calendar tool set up in your own account at this point in time. So you'll come up here to this green button that says create a tool, scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says Google Calendar, and from there it'll actually give you 2 options. Now you're going to want to create both of these tools, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do to set those up. Now once you create both of these tools, you don't need to actually enter your calendar ID or your time zone if you don't want to, and this is true for both of our tools here. And then once you're all set there, go ahead and come back to the left hand sidebar, hit your profile icon, go to settings, come to integrations, then scroll all the way down to tool providers, and then locate your Google Calendar. This is where we're actually going to connect to the Google Calendar that you want to be booking appointments on. So this is actually a very simple process, and let me just take you through it really quick here. So simply hit connect. It'll bring you to this pop-out window, and you'll just follow this process by connecting your Google account, choosing the correct account that you want to link up, and then granting Vapi access so that you actually have the ability to book meetings with those two tools that we just added a moment ago. Now this is a very simple process, and once you have your Google Calendar connected and both of those tools added, you should be good to go. Now with that said, we're actually going to come back into our agent and scroll back down to that tools section. Now under your tools, you're going to want to make sure you hit this drop down menu and add both of those Google Calendar tools that you just created here. And also make sure that these names are consistent with the names that you're using in your prompt to actually instruct the agent on how to use these tools. Now the next setting that we're going to want to pay attention to is our summary. Now this is actually a super easy one. All you're going to need to do is add a mini prompt in here to actually instruct this system on how to summarize your calls. Now after your summary, you're going to want to come into structured data here. And now this is where we're going to be pulling some of that key information from our call transcript and then passing it into N8N and then into our CRM. So for our prompt, you can keep this simple because all we're doing is asking the system to extract the following information from our call. Now when you come in here, all of these fields will be empty, so all you'll need to do is come down here and click add property. Now this is all of the key information I want to extract from the call. In order to help the system do this, I've actually added a description of either one sentence or less describing what each category of information actually is here. Now with that summary and the structured data, we're actually going to come down into our next setting, which is going to be our messaging. This is where we're going to be passing our information from our call reports into N8N. And what you see right here under this server URL is actually our webhook from our workflow in N8N. If you want to join my free school community, you'll have access to all of this. So essentially within your webhook, you're going to have a test URL and a production URL available here. You're going to want to make sure you click on your production URL and then paste it into your server URL right here. Now the last thing you're going to do is, while you're still under messaging, scroll down onto server messages and make sure that your end of call report is selected. And now that we've configured most of what we need to do here in Vapi, we can head over into N8N and actually show you guys how to really get this set up here. So we've already started with our webhook step here, and this is where we're going to be receiving our information from Vapi. Now once we have our call information, we actually want to analyze the call success using an AI classifier step here. Now what's going on here is I'm passing in our call summary that I generated with Vapi, and essentially what we're doing here is we're trying to determine if the call was either positive, neutral, or negative. And this is really going to help us with our performance monitoring and really seeing how successful our calls are being with this AI agent. So I've essentially just created 3 categories in here and given descriptions to what each one is looking for. If you download my template, all of this will be available for you. Now for our bad leads, this is actually an optional step. You don't actually have to keep track of these people, but in my case, I just want to keep my workflow as clean and organized as possible. Now this is pretty straightforward in the fact that I'm just passing some of their information from the call into the CRM here. Now for both the neutral and positive leads, we want to really process those and get those out to somebody so we can start to follow up with them. So I'm including an AI step here to actually help me to generate a message that I can send in Slack to the team or to myself to actually help me along in that process. And again, I'm just passing in the call summary here just like I did before. This time I'm just instructing the AI to write me a 2 to 3 sentence SMS message to briefly tell me what the lead called about, whether they booked a meeting, and to just give me some details to keep me updated on what's happening here. Now, once again, because we want to keep track of our good leads, I'm using a CRM/Google Sheet to actually keep track of all these leads. And once again, we're just appending a row and then just dropping in our name, our interests, budget, email, and status. And lastly, we're actually connecting a Slack node here to send me or the team a message on what's happening in the background when it comes to our lead generation. So obviously I've connected my Slack account here, and the only thing I've set up is which user I'm sending my message to, which is myself in this case. And then I've also dropped in the message that my AI just generated me in that last step into our message text here. But there's still one critical step to this entire system that we need in order to really make it work, which is our website integration. This is what's going to allow us to embed this little AI chat widget into our website here. So in order to do that, you're going to come back into Vapi, scroll all the way down in your settings until you find this widget section here. You'll want to hit this customize button to actually open it up in a separate window. Now this is where you get to customize everything and determine your settings for how this is going to work on your website. So for your mode, make sure you select voice. For your appearance, you can change the theme. You can also swap out your colors, make this in line with whatever your brand happens to be. You can also determine where the AI chat widget appears on your website. And you can also add some text and labels to actually change the text like I did here. So instead of talk with AI, I have mine set to talk with Haley. But once this is all configured the way that you want it to, now you can come up here and actually copy this widget code right here. And if you're building in Firebase or something similar like I am, all you have to do is come into the actual agent here, ask it to update the website with this chat widget code, and then simply paste in that code embed that you just got from Vapi. Once the agent processes that, you should be completely ready to go right here, having your little AI chat widget on your website. Otherwise, if you already have an existing website and you're hosting on WordPress or something similar to that, you'll simply want to go into the back end of your website. There'll actually be a section in there that allows you to embed custom code onto your website. Once you find that, simply paste in the code just like I did here, and then you should be able to just update your website and then see your little AI chat widget appear in the bottom corner. And once you have that set up, you can actually update your site, make sure it goes live, and actually test out your AI voice agent, make sure that it actually pops up, and make sure that you can actually start calls with it. And also that once you end your call, the information comes in here in N8N, is successfully processed here, saved to your CRM, and finally sent via a little SMS into your Slack account. So that's about all I wanted to cover in this video with you guys. So if you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you for watching. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you consider dropping a like and a subscribe down below. And before we hop off here, if you're actually serious about implementing AI, then go ahead and hit my first link in the description to join my free school community. Number two, if you actually want to build a system out like this to help scale your business, to earn time back and generate more leads, then go ahead and hit link number 2 to actually book a call with my team and I. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what your favorite part of the video was. And as usual, I'll catch you all in the next one.